I think this problem let down a lot of students during the test, and I know exactly why this happened. Let's read the question, then I'll tell you. A roll of tape is 4 inches in diameter and is wrapped around a ring that is 2 inches in diameter. A cross-section of the tape is shown in the figure below. The tape is this amount inches thick. If the tape is completely unrolled, approximately how long would it be? Round your answer to the nearest 100 inches. Okay, so probably this is how everybody thinks, like as they get the question, right? We have two formulas for a circle. The area is pi r squared, and the next one is 2 pi r. And they would go, okay, this is for circumference of it. How long is this one? And this is for the area. And because it says like how long, then they're going to focus more on this formula. And then they start working on the question. But they see as we are starting to unroll this, okay, the thickness of the tape will shorten, get smaller. So after we keep unrolling, the radius and the diameter of the tape starts shrinking. So we have a question with the radius changing. Wow, difficult. But that's how they get confused and probably they guess the question or they leave it. So, but actually, is even though it says how long, this is actually an area question. But how do we know this? You have to visualize this during the test. You have to go, okay, I'm going to cut this much of the tape, okay? And we know that this is going to be this amount, like this is going to be like the thickness of it, okay? And then we're going to cut this part of the tape and then like stretch it. And you have to visualize this. What will it look like after stretching it? It would be something like this. Okay, the purples are turning into purple and the red ones are turning into red. So look what happened here. This amount is equal to a rectangle. Okay, what is and the red ones are matching. So the red one in both cases would be 0, 0, 1, 5 and 0 0.015. And then you have to visualize this. What if I unroll all of it and then make it really, really long? So all this tape turns into a very, very, very long rectangle. See, we turn all this tape into a big rectangle. Okay. So, and we know, well, this is the tape. All of this tape is here. So the area of this part, all of this area, okay, all of this area should match this area of a rectangle, okay? But we also know it's made of a lot of layers, right? This one is made of a lot of layers. We stretch it, they're going to be equal. So that's what you need to be able to figure out from the question. The rest is easy. So we know that this area should match this area. So let's first go and find this. So what is the area of this shape? Like the bagel shape? All we really need to do is, so what is from here? This is 1 inch. From here to here is actually 2 inches. So the area of the big circle will be pi 2 squared. The big one is actually 4 pi. Okay, it's going to be this one, the big one. So minus the area that is actually inside, the ring that is inside. This is only 1 inch. Okay, so the blue one is actually pi times 1 squared, which is going to be 1 pi. So now I'll ask you, what is this area here? I'm going to change the color. what is this area here? The green part is going to be this one minus this one. So it's going to be 4 pi minus pi is going to be 3 pi. So the area here is 3 pi. And what is the area of the rectangle? Again, 3 pi. So now let's go and deal with it. So we know that the thickness here is 0.015 multiplied by this big length, right? So all of this, I'm going to call this L, and we're going to go like this. L multiplied by 0.015 is going to be equal to 3 pi. Okay. Now, to make the question easier, instead of 1 point, so we could just make this one. Instead of pi, I'm going to go just 3 because this is an approximate question. So this will be 9. So all we really have to do to find L is going to be divide 9, or we divide 10. Okay, I could also make this 10 because here instead of pi is almost 3 and something. 3 times 3 and something. You could also put it as 10. So either way is fine. You could go with 9 or you could go with 10. So L would be 10 divided by this value. So I'm going to go like this. Let me give myself some space here. So L would be 10 divided by this value, 0.015. Okay, so, or I could also write this as a fraction. I would write it as a fraction, 0.015. Now, how do we get rid of this decimal? See, you have to think about it like this. If I multiply this one by 1,000 and multiply this one by 1,000, what do I get? The numerator will become 10,000. The top number will be 10,000. And look, I have 3 zeros and 3 decimal places. So this number will be 15. So what is 10,000 divided by 15 approximately? It's going to be the closest value to it will be 600. So the answer to the problem is 600. So this one, I would say it's mostly about problem solving and how you could really understand what's going on. The rest, finding the area and doing this division, is not really that difficult.